I have rewatched my previous video and I noticed that I made many mistakes in those three videos, and there are uh, there are certain parts in which I have used the repetitive word. And one thing I have also realized that my language is not that good, but I can express it. I express in it well when when I have a clarity of thoughts. So clarity of thoughts is in my video. That's why there are certain long pause in my video. So I'm going to work on it, and I hope I will overcome it. Let's start with today's topic, that is federalism. Federalism word is came from the federation, and it is the form of the institutional mechanism by which polity at the state level and the regional level is distributed. The oldest constitution of the world, that is the American Constitution, is in federal in character. So there is no certain definition of what is federal or what is unitary form of government. So we are going to compare our constitution, that is Indian Constitution, with the American Constitution, and see how Indian Constitution is the quasi-federal in nature. First, there are mainly 5 characters in the US Constitution which make it a federal in nature. First one is the written constitution, second one is the dual government, third one is the distribution of power, fourth one is the independent judiciary, fifth one is the amendment in the constitution. When we look over a macro perspective, then these are these 5 characteristics found in Indian Constitution also. First one, we have the bulkiest written constitution of the world. We have dual government, which is the government at the central level and the state level, and we have Schedule 7 in our constitution, which distribute the power between union and the state in form of union list, state list, and concurrent list. We have independent judiciary, independence of judiciary from legislative and from executive. And the fifth one, whenever we have to amend a constitution, federal aspects of our constitution, we do require the consensus of the state. So it is a joint act of state and the center to amend federal feature of our constitution. But when we look deeply into it, then we found that it is not federal in nature. Somewhat we are more tilted toward the unitary nature. Let's start. There are various characters such as the emergency power. Emergency power, which is mentioned in Article 352, 356, and 360, that is national emergency, the state emergency or the presidential rule, and the financial emergency. So whenever we implement these emergencies, then we are tilted toward the unity form of government. The state legislative loses its power and center have the dominant role over the state. Second feature, which is the integrated judiciary. We do have the independent judiciary, but judiciary at the central level and the state level is integrated in nature. On the top we have Supreme Court, then the High Court in each state, then the District Court and and various other courts. So and the Supreme Court also have power to look into the matter which are not constitutional in nature. Supreme Court have appellate jurisdiction also. So we can say that this make a huge difference from the American judicial system. And the third feature, which is the role of governor. Although role of governor is very ceremonial one, but still we still follow the legacy of the British era law, and provide a governor to each state. And fourth one, that on the various matter, the central government have power to make laws on the state subject. The central government do need the ratification from the Rajya Sabha in advance, but center have power to overpower the state list subject. So these are the features which make India as a quasi federal nature. Okay, we have accept the fact that the Indian Constitution is quasi federal in nature, but why it is so? Why do we need a federal feature but tilted more toward the unitary nature? Because India is from India is from India is not from same as the American as a union is formed. Article 1 of our constitution itself states that India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of the state. The federal word itself not used in our constitution. So when India is formed, when India was formed, then our lawmaker have a fear that it is not going to be a stable union. So they want more power in their hand. That's why there is a more unitary tilt in our constitution. We need that kind of unitary biases, that kind of strong central government at the union level at that time. But in this time, do we really need this kind of tilt? Because we have seen that whenever the presidential rule is established in any state, it is most of the abuse of center power, because we can see that most of the presidential rule implemented on those states when the opposition is in power in that particular state from the union government. So I think we need to look into this aspects also, and we have to look in. Okay. So in conclusion, I think we need a constructive debate, and our law commission also provided a greater view on this, that do we really need these kind of aspects, these kind of provision in our constitution? Do we really need this? Or if we need this, what is the way to prevent the abuse of central government on the state government?